is From A to Vegan, and I'm Chris.
I'm Lydia, and we're here with Christy Morgan, the Blissful chef and author of Blissful Bites, her new cookbook. Christy, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you became a vegan chef and some of the influences in the dishes that you make?
Well, I became vegan about 9-10 years ago after watching the Meet Your Meat video on PETA. And I went vegan overnight and I started teaching myself how to cook. Because at the time I didn't really know how to cook. I was a college kid, so I pretty much just ate spaghetti and meatballs and, and like turkey sandwiches. So I started teaching myself how to cook and I loved it. So I went to culinary school.
That's great.
But I went to a macrobiotic culinary school called the Natural Epicurean in Austin.
Nice.
And at the time I didn't know what that meant at all. And I really learned a lot because it's kind of based in Chinese medicine. There's an emphasis on local, organic, seasonal produce and eating more balanced. So eating whole grains, less processed food and things like that. And then I moved to Los Angeles where I met a lot of people in the raw food community. So I have that kind of influence of fresh, raw foods. But I don't like to have too many gadgets. Like I don't have a dehydrator, so the book has raw foods, but not like things that are super hard to do. Like anybody can do those things. And so it's got the macrobiotic influence. And then of course gluten-free is a buzzword and is all the rage right now. So about 85-90% of the book is gluten-free because I feel better when I eat less gluten. Even though I'm not gluten intolerant, I feel better. So there's also oil-free in the book because that's a whole new thing going on too, is eating less oil. So there's really something for everybody in it.
We've got your book right here, and we've actually tried a couple recipes from it. Can you tell us what some of your influences were and what made you want to write this particular kind of book?
Well, I was a chef and I had a meal delivery service, and then I started teaching. And that's where I found my true passion, is teaching others. And I just wanted to share my philosophy and sort of blending what I thought was the best of all the plant-based worlds and foods and sort of give that to people. It also has a kind of spiritual element to it as well, like that food is more than just fuel to nourish ourselves. It's bigger than that. It affects everything about us. It affects, of course, the planet and the animals. So it's sort of got that element in it as well. That's where the whole bliss thing comes from, because I really feel, bliss means to experience true happiness or spiritual joy. And that's what I feel when I eat foods that are plant-based and delicious and nourishing. And it sort of affects everything about my life and how I present myself to the world and how my relationships are with other people. And it's really about true compassion and love and all that, like all that hippy dippy stuff. And if you're not into the hippy dippy stuff, you can just kind of skip that over and just get straight to eating really good healthy food. So
I actually made some of the recipes already from your book.
Cool.
I tried, what I really liked was your duck-free pate.
oh yeah,
And that was really good. That's made with tempeh.
Yeah.
And I really loved how fresh it was, but it was hearty at the same time. So I think it was something that you really wanted to like just spread on a piece of toast or a cracker.
I don't think I've seen that kind of recipe in any other cookbook either.
No, I haven't seen anything like that. Not
No.
made with tempeh or anything.
It gives it that very sort of meaty-like texture.
Yeah. And I before I became, in my other life, before I became vegan or vegetarian, I used to like the heartier dishes, and that really satisfied that need for something heartier and warm. Another recipe I tried was your coconut orange bread pudding. Oh my goodness,
Yes.
that one is really sinful.
And it has coconut milk in it.
Yes.
So people often say, use a lot of coconut, which is totally not macrobiotic because coconut kind of comes from Thailand, it comes from another place. It's sort of my one guilty pleasure. I really try to emphasize local, organic, seasonal foods, and each chapter is divided into seasons to sort of encourage people to eat seasonally. but coconut's my one like guilty pleasure because it's just so good, and it has all the electrolytes, and it just gives me energy, gives me nice hair and skin. Like, it's really, I love all coconut products.
I love coconut too. But I guess you could probably substitute that if you wanted to keep it, not get some coconut that's from Thailand or another country. You could probably substitute it with like a cashew cream, although cashews don't grow here either. But you could do it with some other almond cream or something that's equally as what's the word I'm looking for? Rich, exactly, and sinful as well.
Yeah, totally.
So you're on your book tour now. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've been traveling for 3 weeks now, or more than 3 weeks, and I have a month left. I kind of overdid it, I think, but I really love meeting people face to face, and I always do cooking demos at all of my events because that is what really convinces people. When you show them how to do it and that it's easy and delicious, they're sold. Like, I have a really good exchange rate. Like, usually half the people, if not 3/4, or all the people buy the book once they see the demo and they try the food. So that's my mission, is to show people that healthy food that's based in whole foods, like, because being vegan doesn't necessarily mean healthy, right?
Exactly.
It's and a lot of the vegan cookbooks out there have a lot of processed food and like fake meat and that kind of stuff.
True.
And this book has none except for one recipe. That's my 7-layer dip. It has the chorizo.
Okay.
But other than that, there's no processed meats in there. So I really like showing people that you can make food that's tasty and fast, because people are really scared to get in the kitchen as well.
Yes.
And I just really love meeting people face to face and sort of setting an example for people. I think a lot of people have this view of what vegan means,
You're right.
They have a distorted view of what it means or what those people are, like those vegans. So when they see me, they think, oh, well, this is doable. She's obviously healthy. I'm not deficient. I'm not like skinny and pale and like, so some lady at one of my demos was like, yeah, you really walk the talk. You make me proud to be a vegan, knowing that people are like you are spreading the message. And so that makes me feel really great. And I just want to, spread the love, spread the bliss.
So what is up next for you after all this? I'm sure you're just...
I'm going to need a break.
Yeah, you're going to need a break.
Vacation from this.
But you must have some ideas about things that you want to accomplish, right?
I would like to do my next book is on the horizon. I'm going to keep teaching. I'm in Texas right now, but I really love traveling and teaching, so there'll probably be more traveling. And yeah, just keep putting content on my blog and just trying to spread the message and
get people love.
Yeah, get people excited about eating whole foods and supporting their local economies with local. I mean, that's kind of a big thing right now too, but a lot of people just don't even think about those things. So I like expanding their minds.
Mara and I do a lot of local and seasonal cooking. We have a couple of CSA shares throughout the year, and awesome. I love that about your book, that you have sections divided up by season, and it really helps. It really helped. One of the recipes in there, one of the CSAs that Chris is now a member of, Chris and James are a member of now, has daikon radishes at the end of summer, and I never know what to do with them. And as soon as I got your book and I started flipping through it, I saw those daikon radish canapes, and I was like, yes, something to make with daikon radishes.
Yeah.
So I was really excited because a lot of the ingredients that we get through the CSA, you cover a lot of recipes with those ingredients. I'm like, oh, thank goodness, finally something that'll help me work through the CSA season.
And I spent a lot of time on the index so that people could do that. So whatever they get from their CSA or whatever, when they go to the farmer's market and something calls out to them, they can bring it home, look for that in the vegetable in the back, and be able to see what recipes go with that. Because cookbook indexes can sometimes really frustrate me.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time on mine so that people could do that.
I noticed that.
It.
Yeah.
We love it. It's so easy to read and to find things in here, and it's beautiful.
It's easy. Yes, it's beautiful. It's easy to navigate, and then at the end you also have what we really like in other cookbooks. Not all other cookbooks have, is the menu section at the back. So you have an oil-free menu. We know a group of vegans that meet monthly, and they have an oil-free a potluck, and that would be helpful if we ever went to there, because then it's just an easy guide. You look it up, like, okay, let's make one of these recipes. Yeah. So I think it's a really helpful and well thought out book.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
Well, it's great meeting with you, Christy.
Thank you for having me.